Hey guys! Welcome to our channel, Product Reviews. A place where you get information about trending products and concepts in the world with purchase links. If you have not yet subscribed the channel, please subscribe. Be the first to type, "I am subscribed," in the comment box below. Without much wasting your time, let's get started. A soundbar is an attractive alternative to a full-blown outboard speaker system. The soundbar is already available across 15 stores in the country. And users who want to experience the device can head to any of the Sennheiser stores. The device is priced at a whopping 1,99,990 rupees if you are India, which is a costly purchase. And it promises an impressive 5.1.4 surround sound experience. It sports a total of 13 speaker drivers, 6 4-inch long throw, cellulose-sandwich cone woofers, 5 1-inch aluminum dome tweeters, 2 of which fire to the sides at an angle, and 2 upfiring 3.5-inch full-range drivers powered by a total of 500 watts. The frequency response is said to extend from 30 Hz to 20 kHz, that is -3 decibel. The audio bar can be controlled with the smart control app that allows the user to adjust the settings. It uses all those drivers and some serious DSP to direct the surround and overhead channels to the room's walls and ceiling, where they are reflected toward the listening area. According to Sennheiser, the effect is best if the walls and ceiling are no more than 5 meters, about 16 feet, from the soundbar. Otherwise, the reflected sound might be noticeably delayed. To accomplish this feat of virtualization, the Ambeo soundbar must be calibrated to the room in which it will be used. In addition to the soundbar itself, the package includes a 28-inch tall, freestanding calibration microphone attached to its own heavy base and a long cable that connects to the front of the soundbar. To calibrate the unit, you place the mic so its top is at ear height in the listening position, and hold the Ambeo button on the remote or the top of the unit. The soundbar plays a series of sweeping tones and then calibrates the DSP based on what the microphone picks up from reflections in the room. Physical inputs on the back include 3 HDMI 2.0 ports, which is 18 gigabits per second, 1 Ethernet port, 1 Toslink optical port, and 1 pair of RCA analog audio jacks, as well as a 2.5mm microphone input on the front for the calibration mic. It also provides several wireless inputs, including Bluetooth 4.2 and dual-band Wi-Fi. Finally, it is Google Chromecast built-in, and it can join a UPnP media network. Outputs include 1 HDMI 2.1 port with eARC and a subwoofer pre-out with an RCA connector. A USB port supports service and firmware updates but not media playback from storage devices. The Sennheiser Ambeo soundbar is much bigger than most products of its type. Measuring 127 cm wide and 14 cm tall, it's a real beast. Around the back of the Ambeo soundbar you'll find 4 HDMI sockets, 3 of which are standard inputs, and 1 of which is marked TV and supports eARC, Enhanced Audio Return Channel. This means that, not only can the Sennheiser pass signals, 4K and HDR, including Dolby Vision, are supported, from the other inputs to the TV. It can also receive sound signals, including Dolby Atmos, from the TV via the one cable. That's useful if Netflix and/or Amazon are your main movie and TV show sources, as both already carry a good chunk of Atmos-enabled content. It's worth noting the Ambeo soundbar also supports DTS:X, another object-based surround sound codec that you can find on some 4K Blu-rays in place of Dolby Atmos. Alongside the HDMIs are an Ethernet socket, Wi-Fi is also supported, USB, for updates only, an optical input and a stereo RCAO in. There's a subwoofer pre-out, too, should you feel the need to add a dedicated bass unit. As well as the physical connections, the Ambeo soundbar also supports Bluetooth 4.2 and Chromecast, making your streaming options almost endless. The small display on the front of the unit flashes up the selected input and sound format received, while there's also a backlit Ambeo logo. The brightness of both can be adjusted from within the Sennheiser Smart Control app, which also gives you access to advanced options such as input renaming and an equalizer. Most of the time you'll be controlling the soundbar using the chunky, bundled remote, as well as the source and volume buttons, which are confusingly alike and next to one another, ensuring regular incorrect presses in the early days of ownership. This remote has dedicated buttons for a number of audio presets, plus an Ambeo button for activating or deactivating the virtual surround processing. The driver array nestled within the casework consists of 6 10cm woofers and 5 25mm tweeters arranged across the front and sides, plus 2 upward firing 9cm full-range drivers. Calibration involves plugging in the bundled mic, which has an integrated, surprisingly solid stand, and waiting around a minute while sounds are fired out and measured. It's awesomely fast and straightforward. The Ambeo Soundbar can decode a wide range of audio codecs, including virtually all varieties of Dolby and DTS, including DTS-X, DTS-9624, Dolby Atmos. Other supported codecs include DSD, the format used with SACT discs, and MPEG-H, a relatively new codec intended for use with next-generation TV broadcasting via ATSC 3.0. It can also upmix stereo and 5.1 content into a fully immersive sound field. You can engage the Ambeo virtualization with 3 intensity levels: light, standard, boost. And you can cut or boost 4 bands of EQ by up to plus or minus 10 dB. Of course, you can disable it altogether as well. The soundbar also offers 5 preset sound modes: movie, music, news, sports, and neutral. In addition, it offers a night mode that compresses the dynamic range, so you can hear everything without having to crank it up and possibly disturb others trying to sleep in the next room. If the audio is in one of the Dolby formats, the Ambeo Soundbar can utilize Dolby Virtualizer, in which case the Ambeo 3D audio effect is disabled. It also offers Dolby Dynamic Range Control, DERC, with 3 different settings: auto, normal, heavy, and dialogue normalization. If the audio is a DTS bitstream, you can set DRC to any value from 0 to 100% and boost dialogue up to 6 decibels. These and most other controls are found in the Sennheiser Smart Control app, more in a moment. Of course, you can place the soundbar on a credenza or other surface, and it comes with protective feet you can install if you wish. You can also wall mount it with an optional hardware kit. Keep in mind, however, that it's 5 inches tall, so the bottom of the TV needs to be at least that far above the surface where the soundbar sits. So the Ambeo Soundbar, as you can see, has 9 speakers up front, 2 on the side, 2 on the top for a total of 13 speakers, and this thing weighs 40 pounds. So the speakers on top will give you some really nice elevated sound as the speakers are projecting up into the air. This is going to be important if you're listening to a track or a movie that has Dolby Atmos encoding on it. Or if you're just listening to music and you want to create a really nice, big, spacious sound. In my testing for it, I did a lot of listening to Dolby Atmos enabled tracks and I couldn't believe. I really did think that there were speakers above me and there was sound moving around front to back, left to right. It's amazing what this thing can do. This speaker or soundbar was designed to, kind of, replace a traditional wired system. Normally, you'd have 3 speakers up front, 2 speakers in the back, and for those Atmos or elevation channels that are here, you'd have to wire speakers up into the ceiling. So this is a great alternative to that. Let's say you have that living room that's opened up to the kitchen and there's really nowhere in the back to put speakers, or you have a ceiling that's 20 feet in the air. This can be a very great solution to still give you a great experience for home theater and listening to music without having to run any wires at all. Being that it is 40 pounds, most people are probably going to set this up on their piece of furniture. However, there is an optional wall mount for this. If you did want a wall mount, you can. It costs about $60 right now and that'll be able to wall mount this and put it right underneath your TV for a nice, clean, professional look. So let's talk about some connectivity. On the back, you'll find 3 HDMI inputs and 1 output that now supports what's called EARC or Enhanced Audio Return Channel. The enhanced part is to support all of those newer surround sound formats that are available from streaming services like Dolby Atmos, DTS HD, Dolby True HD. All of those formats will now be supported by that audio return channel if your TV also has the EARC connection. Of course, on the back, you'll find an optical input. You'll also find an analog input for, I don't know, a CD player or even your phone if you wanted to plug the headphone jack and come in directly to there. You could do that. Now, it also has a subwoofer pre-out. Hope you enjoyed the video. You could connect your own powered subwoofer. You guys can initiate a discussion in the specifications of this. If you have any different opinions about the content and this produce a lot of bass on its own, be the first to start the debate in the box for a really great home theater links related to the products and this video are kept in description. So they give you a connection on the back to be able to do that. Please make your next purchase from that supplied remote control in which you have your volume control. You have source collection on there. Good night. whichever also part have of the some world different presets for. Don't forget to subscribe to stay connected. A late night mode will assure you to make quality and interesting videos down in what's called the dynamic range. This is James don't get so loud or so quiet. Signing off. It, kind of, stays at one nice volume there and doesn't have too much bass if you're worried about waking anybody up in the house. And, right underneath the power button here, you have the Ambeo button. Now, the Ambeo button is going to be there when you really want to engage these speakers and get that height and get that sound to sound like it's coming up above your head. That's what that's going to do for you. So you are going to want to calibrate this thing when you get into your room. Inside the box, you will find this microphone and you simply plug the microphone into the mic input set in the jack. And then go into your setup and initiate your automatic setup. And it will automatically calibrate all of these speakers to give you the best performance for your room. As far as wireless connectivity, you do have Bluetooth. It is Google Chromecast enabled and it does have Wi-Fi. I will recommend, though, that you do connect this with an Ethernet jack. If that's not possible, you do have Wi-Fi to get this thing set up on your network. Setting it up on your network will allow you to use the Sennheiser Smart Control app. Now, inside that app, you're actually able to get in there, and I found this really important for listening to music. I've done a lot of listening to this and you're able to get in there and there's a 4-channel or a 4-band EQ that you can play around with things like the bass, the mid-range, and the treble to make this thing really perform well to your personal liking. So the Sennheiser Ambeo is a great product. I listen to lots of different movie soundtracks on it. I listen to music that is on, like concerts that I've listened to on Blu-ray and also just Bluetoothing music to it. And everything I played to it, I was very happy. This is probably one of the best soundbars that I've heard in a long time. Specifically at giving you that sense of surround sound without actually wiring your entire room. All in all, wiring your system if you can do it, that's still the best, but for this price point here, this is a $2,500 soundbar. This performs really well and I don't think you'll be disappointed if you set it up in your room. This is the Sennheiser Ambeo Soundbar.